Welcome to the PAC Show, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world.
We lost every game.
Always need to be heard, these bastards.
What? Puncho! What is happening? Samu Krebe! Samu, how you doing, brother? Hey! What is happening?
He's in the car.
Yes, the boys. Thank you, everyone.
We're the best of friends.
Hilarious.
Yeah, one I won't remember. I will remember.
Yeah, we got him!
Can't be good at it. That's the one thing I will do.
G'day, folks, and welcome to the PAC Rugby Show. We are a little bit behind the clock, but doesn't matter. We've got plenty of rugby action we're going to get into this evening. And to help me out, we have our starters once again. Actually, let me rephrase. Our starter, unfortunately, Dossie Boy, still waiting on tenterhooks for that little bub to come. So Dallon's riding Pine all by himself, and riding Pine all by himself seems to be the order of the day today, because unfortunately, Big Fat Das, he's on the battlers bench all by himself once again.
Yeah. We unfortunately it's 2 weeks in a row that Ryan is still in hospital having his unfortunate neck surgery. Just on the battlers bench. Get well soon, Ryan. We wish you all the best with. He's right here. Here he is. He's
The grill switch. There he is.
he's done it. He's done it.
Big Fat Das and his pet corgi.
Yeah.
Grill switch. Friends, how are you, mate? We missed you last week, man.
Mate, it's been rough. It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Night shift?
I'm hanging on by a thread. But I'll get through it. I'm going to get through it.
That's what we always say, man. Unfortunately, you always pull through, but it's good to have you back, brother. Now, without further ado, tonight we do have a massive show lined up, as I said. Joining us all the way from WA, we've got Western Force royalty, WA rugby royalty, Matt Hodgson, joined by Sera Ravatudei from the Super W side, because first weekend of Super W is this weekend, as well as QPR, so heaps of shit we want to get into. Let's hop on the good foot and do the bad thing. But before we kick it over to WA, we wanted to just discuss, there's not much news to go into per se, but the fact that Ireland wrapped up a Grand Slam on the weekend, Dow, absolutely awesome. Mac Hansen, friend of the show, hopefully. He's been very busy, but he's keen as mustard. And you look at the Rugby Pass team of the tournament, there's 2 Aussies in there. There's more Aussies in that team than there are Englishmen, but 2 Aussies in Sione Tuipulotu and Mac Hansen making the team of the tournament awesome. But it does, just from the point of view of like lost talent, God, it does chafe your butt crack a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, yes and no. I think it's just credit to those boys who've gone over there and had a genuine crack and have come out the other side as genuine international players. I think that's probably the most exciting thing for them. Yes, of course, it was disappointing to lose them, but at the point, you know what I mean, when they were here, were they at that level? Potentially not, but they've gone over and they made a real crack of it, and look at them now, they're world class.
And do you think that's maybe, I wouldn't say an indictment on coaching in Australia, but maybe just it's actually just highlights the level of coaching you can get, not so much in the international fold over in the UK or France or whatever friends, but more so the domestic club competition, because that's where like 80% of that Irish side are from Munster. Like, granted, Max from Connacht, but a lot of them are being coached by really, really bloody good club coaches and in a really good club system.
I don't know, mate. I reckon Ireland have been getting better and better. They've got good experience in key positions, and with Sexton, I don't know if they've got much behind him, but it runs off him.
He's
really
a metronome, eh? He is freakish, mate. For
he's
a 37-year-old man.
And just slotting him from the sideline like it's nothing still. But losing like guys like Mac Hansen and, is it James Lowe, the winger?
James Lowe, yeah, Kiwi.
Yeah. Like, he was a decent player in Super Rugby. Mac Hansen, decent player, but they're going over there and they're just killing it. So I don't know what the answer is. But at the end of the day as well, like, who do you replace him with here? Like, we've got so many good wingers and stuff as well. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
It is one of those
things. It's tough
things.
To keep him. I like it, actually, because I think there was, how many? It was about 4 or 5, or probably even more, including the Saffers, in that team of this Six Nations. Yeah. Just like, this is awesome. Losers. No, but it's good to see, though.
It is. I mean, yeah. could bring a tear to a glass eye to see such good, awesome Aussie talent over there. But it is awesome just to see some Aussies abroad absolutely killing it. Now, before we go over to, we do have Sera and Matt on the blower. But before we do that, we're going to do our bold predictions once again. Big Fat Das. We'll do bold predictions for our Super W because it is the first round of Super W this weekend. And you wanted to try bold predictions once again. It wasn't the best. But we'll give it a shot, and we'll see what our bold predictions are for Super W, and then we'll go over and we'll have a yarn to Sera and Matt. So why don't you take it away, Das?
I'm going to go with, right down the barrel, Western Force to be in the grand final.
For Super W?
For Super W. Called it.
Yes.
You're calling it now. You are such a pussy.
I can see them on the screen.
You are such a coward. But no, I agree. Yes, Western Force all the way.
No.
But
I think they've recruited well this year.
Yep.
I think they're building bigger and better things and big things to come this year.
You literally stole Dale's, but anyway.
He did.
Mine's Drew to go back-to-back.
Drew to go back-to-back in regards to the Super W Championship.
Yep. I reckon they're going to go back-to-back. They'll respawning more talent and they're getting more experienced and it's going to be ridiculous. Fiji, they're going to go back-to-back.
And do you think that is sort of like it's sort of the Fiji and Drew and Fijiana sort of go hand in hand in regards to like they've got that talent now. They're building as a club, but sort of as a nation towards something
massive.
Well,
even like I was saying, I think I said in the group chat the other day, the under-20s Drua and the Moana Pacifica and the New Zealand
in the Kiwi comp, yeah.
And I think that's massive. Like getting these young guys who traditionally Fiji don't do that well in the under-20s comp, but getting them in that, getting them playing together. It's going to be good for the generations, and we're all going to lose. But
we're
it's good.
Screwed, eh?
It's good.
Dallin, your bold prediction. You got to look down the camera, wait for it to zoom in.
I reckon the Rebels will come away with a win this year.
You reckon they're going to come away with a win?
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
That is actually huge, mate. They are building something that, like, we're talking about, the Western Force. We're talking about Fiji, but the Rebels have been close several times.
Yep.
And they have a pretty bloody good system down there. And you've got girls like Mel Carla and stuff who just go hell for leather. Like, they're pretty bloody good.
They've got another couple of Queenslanders down there, Wasi Tulis and Ussie Muffy. She's down there as well.
Wasi Tulis is down there.
Yep.
Oh, she'll be bringing some spice off the field, man.
Yeah.
She's classic, man.
So, yeah, I reckon they'll be better. That's good chat, Dale.
Was sweet as. All right. Oh, my bold prediction, looking down the camera here, my bold prediction, sort of following on yours, Dallin, is that both the Rebels and the Western Force are going to claim big scalps this year. So I think it's going to be either against Fijiana, Queensland Reds, or the Tars. I think each team will jag a very big scalp this season. So I think, yes, they're both pulling towards something huge, man, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. Now, speaking of, let's kick it over to Western Australia. On the blower, we have Matt Hodgson, absolute Western Force royalty, and we've got Sera Ravatudei, Hodjo. Sera, absolutely awesome to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Our pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Even though
Sarah,
you called me a girl, that's all right.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to... it's tough.
You're gorgeous,
usually
mate.
It's
You're
like,
gorgeous.
Hey, guys, hey, girls, and then there's one each way. So it's just, I'm trying to work it here. Sera, I want to start with you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Sera, I just want to start with you. We were just talking about Fijiana. Obviously, you're a part of the squad last year. You're a new member to the Western Force Super W fold. You're being coached by arguably the greatest player to pull on a Force jersey. I mean, what does it mean to sort of come from that Fijiana setup into a setup where you've got Matt Hodgson running the show and you're really starting to build towards something collectively as a club and a state?
No, I think it's really, really good. I think we're blessed to have Hodjo as our head coach. We've learnt a lot in the short space of time that we've had him already, but we're excited. It's a lot different to the Fijiana Drua, but in a good way. So I'm happy to be home with my family and playing in my home state, and yeah.
And Matt, obviously you're wearing two hats at the moment, the list manager and general manager of the club, and then obviously coaching as well. How are you going, managing that space, and what are you enjoying about the coaching?
The first thing was probably I had to introduce myself to the girls. They actually didn't know who I was. So I had to point to a poster of 2006 that I was in the team. No, I'm loving it. Obviously, it's difficult juggling both, but I was lucky enough to be part of the Aon Sevens with the WA team this year, and sort of saw the growth in them, and they were chasing a professional organisation to sort of put a program together, and sort of that's what we sort of wanted to achieve with the girls, and putting in a high performance manager, a number of coaches, strength and conditioning, physio, and also an academy in place. The coaching bit is the fun bit for me because I'm actually allowed to get out of the office and no one follows me down there. So it's pretty exciting to be part of it. Looking forward to round one.
Sarah, with that experience over in Fiji, how much untapped talent do they have over there? As it would be growing at a rate of knots over there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think there's so much to unfold over there. Like, we had a lot of girls who had never played rugby union before, and playing for Fijiana Drua last year for Super W was their first ever time playing in a competition like that, and they absolutely loved it. We had a soccer player, a netball player. So I think now with how fast women's rugby is growing, you're just going to see them all coming out of the woodworks.
What's the biggest difference with the training and stuff? Of just a lot more structure in Australia?
Yeah, they're a lot kinder here in Australia than Fiji.
No running up the sand dunes. There's no sand dunes over in Perth.
Yeah.
There are some sand dunes at Swanbourne Beach. Is that right?
Nailed it, Das.
That's that.
We don't go to that beach.
What? When I played for Cottesloe, I just used to hang out in the bushes at that beach. Hodjo, being a...
hold up. I assume
what?
that's a nude beach, is it?
Yeah, it's a very nude beach. Allegedly. I've just heard some stuff. You go Ocean Beach Hotel, you have a couple of beers.
A lot of flagpoles.
A lot of flagpoles.
That's it. Hodjo, mate, being a part of that original inaugural 2006 Western Force team, you guys obviously would have had to build a culture from the ground up. Obviously, the women's team has been going for a couple of years, but you've got a couple of new players in trying to build that culture. What kind of steps have you kind of put into place to kind of achieve that?
There's probably two big ones that we worked on straight away. Is one, their inclusion into the whole organisation, so be part of the Western Force. Although we sort of involved last year, it's probably they felt like the sister or the plus one through the time. So with me in my role, I sort of bring them along into the club, and people don't say no to me when I tell them they're coming to events, functions, and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty good to bring them into that. Getting involved in match day, sponsored activations on field, and all that sort of stuff. And then the second big one is to separate the clubs within the team. So a lot of club rivalry came into the Force, and it was sort of I play for Cottesloe, I play for Kalamunda, I play for Orangaroo. So now we've flipped that mantra to I play for Western Force, and a club is a byproduct of that, and that's sort of where we're going with the program now.
Hell yeah. I mean, like your history, Matt, coming from, Central Coast of New South Wales through Avoca, and then you went through Eastwood, you played in that grand final side and the Aussie Sevens. Like, you were, for lack of a better term, a bit of an outcast. You started as a fly half centre in the TARS system that got converted to a flanker and then found yourself with the Force. So you're talking about, this distinction of we are the Western Force. Is that something like that has grown from, I don't know, like obviously your history with the Force, you were an inaugural member, and is that sort of bred out of the fact that, the Force has become, I guess, your spiritual home for rugby?
Yeah, 100%. I think I was fortunate to coaches and quite a tough journey to get my first cap, but what I say to the girls and pretty much anyone that comes to the club is once you get that jersey, it's up to someone else to take it off you. Don't give it up for someone else. And that's the sort of what we instill to all players. So we're lucky enough that we've got the first 15 put on their jerseys this week, and it's up for them to keep it, but up for the others to chase them and try and grab that jersey off it. You don't hand it over lightly.
And Sarah, the hard work's done. You've done the preseason. You're here now. Round 1 is just around the corner. 2 things. What can we expect from the Western Force this year? And the second thing is, who has really, who's someone that we can expect to do big things from the Force this year?
Apart from yourself.
Obviously. No, I think coming from last year, there's been a massive change with who stayed on from last year's team and the new faces that have come in and the girls from Academy that have now stepped into Western Force. So I think the attitude is a lot different. They're striving for something bigger than themselves. Like, we're not here just playing for us, but we're playing for the generations after us. So that's been a massive thing in our team. As for Super W, I think the game changer this year for us would probably be, obviously, me. Trelene. She's a massive one. She's a massive asset to the team, our captain. We've got our Japanese girls, so Tuki and Yuna, who've come over to the Western Force. I think they bring a lot of heart to our team as well.
And I wanted to touch on that, Matt, from your perspective. How have the international girls fitted into the system? Obviously, especially the Japanese girls coming from a completely different language and all that. How's that been?
It's been great. I think 2 added bonuses of the internationals, the 2 from Japan and 1 from Saracens, is that they come from a professional program and they know what the expectation is. So players are now seeking that and chasing them. And like Sarah said, there's a lot of energy with those 2 girls, and they're often the first on the computer, first at training and ready to learn. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to them to see on Friday night.
And is there any players to watch that probably isn't on anyone's radar yet? Any hidden talent in the Western Forces here?
I think there's a lot. Our back row is pretty exciting, but I think 2 for me that are probably going to come through this year is Nicole Eddington, our 10. Her rugby now is second to none, and she really understands the game and controls our patterns. But then also Aisha at the back, we've moved her from sort of a 9 winger to an actual 15. And again, the understanding of the game is pretty exciting, and she's probably the only one I know that can kick off both feet.
Sarah, just another quick question. This one's from a viewer. Season's just about to start. Who would you least like to room with, and why?
What was the question? Sorry.
Who would you least like to room with on tour, and why?
Probably Taj Hill.
She was actually the one that wrote these questions, actually.
Was it really?
It actually was. She stitched herself up. That's classic. Taji baby. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't actually shower ever.
Darcy doesn't either.
That's really good.
Fun fact.
Stink
Fact.
We played a sevens tournament in Newcastle and caught a bus. So played a whole day of sevens, bus 3 hours to the airport, caught a plane back, delayed for several hours, and she thought baby wipes was A-OK.
That does not play on in
She
any...
just stitched herself up so bad.
I don't think that worked out quite how she intended. Okay.
What position does she play? It's not front row.
Worst thing ever, she wasn't the only one though.
Oh, no. Mandatory showers, girls. Come on.
Oh, man, that's so brutal. Sarah, for you, Matt sort of touched on it before, speaking about the Japanese girls that have come into the fold in regards to coming from that professional setup. And we've seen there's a few Kiwis coming over from the Aupiki competition that are going to be playing in Super W. And there was announced, a month or 2 ago that the women's game will become professional or semi-professional within the next couple of years. To be a player in the fold at the moment before it becomes professional, I mean, is that something that's actually driving, the girls within the environment to sort of stick with the code, or is it more about passion for the game? it's just hard to get a read sometimes because, you've got the AFL and the NRLW that are just absolutely blowing up. So how does that really sit with the girls within the squad and within the game in regards to the game becoming professional in the next few years?
I think me and a few of the players actually spoke about this. We wish that we could be at the same level as the men right now, but we also understand that we need to do the hard work in order for us to eventually become professional. And that means making the sacrifices now so that the generations after us will reap from the sacrifices we're making now. That doesn't always sit right with a lot of the women. I think because we have a lot of mums in our team, the mums really understand that more. But it's just about letting the younger girls know that we do the hard work now, we reap the joys later. And that's just how it's going to work, I think.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Quick fire 5 questions for you, Sarah, that we do every week. First one is, if you could have any athlete from any other sport in your team, who would it be? Any athlete.
Any athlete from any other sport?
In your team, who would it be?
Who could play another sport in our team?
Oh, Rosie. I think Rosie would. What's her last name? Rosie McKinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would do good in water sports, I reckon.
Okay. What's been your career highlight so far?
Apart from meeting me.
Definitely not. Probably playing for the Drua last year. It was a good lesson, but highlight as well.
Perfect. Your favourite teammate?
They're all listening. They are all listening.
The least to beat me up. My favourite teammate, Taj.
Taj.
Be nice because you told him about the story.
You said she didn't tell.
Yeah, Taj. She's my favourite player. She doesn't show.
That's because you could get the carpet the whole time.
And your least favourite teammate? Is it Taj?
Yeah, Taj.
And finally, who's been the most influential person of your career so far?
Oh. I don't even know.
Your mum? Your dad? Your kids?
Probably my husband. Yeah.
Good.
He's the one that's kind of pushed me to keep playing because at my age you're supposed to be retiring, but I've just kind of begun. So he's the reason why I keep playing.
Amazing.
Kind of like Big Fat Das was meant to retire about 10 years ago. He still plays Friday night footy.
One more year. Actually, last question. Matt, you went through the peak years of glove wearing whilst you were at the Western Force with Matt Giddo, Matt Henjack, Drew Mitchell, everyone wearing the gloves. Do you think you should be, maybe, let's bring it back for the girls. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we should have a second wind or is that just better left in the past?
I reckon maybe what I would do is
there it is.
Really what I would look at is actually change the size of the ball for the women. I'd go to a size 4. I reckon you'd see a lot more entertaining rugby with a smaller ball. So maybe smaller ball and one glove.
One glove. The Michael Jack.
Yes. Yes. That's
Just have to pick it up from Swanbourne Beach for you.
There we go. I'll bring my binoculars down.
Little flagpoles, that's the best.
Yeah. Matt, before you go, one of my favourite rugby moments is your last game in WA. You get the opportunity to kick the conversion at the end of the game, and your old man's there. Like I've literally got goosebumps now just thinking about it because it's just such a huge moment in rugby, and for so many people, especially in WA, it would have meant so much to see someone of your ilk, that has just carried a state on their shoulders for such a long time, and having your old man there. Run us through Run us through that, because it is just absolutely awesome to see that.
No, yeah. I think I was quite lucky with my career. I think I won my 50th with someone popped a field goal. Won my 100th with when we beat Melbourne by 40 and scored a try there. So it was only 140 was pretty exciting. The only problem I had, I think we got the penalty from a scrum, and John O'Lance said, I went to go for a quick tap, and he said, no, go for the points. And I said, yeah, no worries, take them. I didn't know why. And he goes, no, you're kicking. And then I called for the sand, but no one had any sand. I was almost going to kick out of my shoe, but they ran out of tea and pretty much just hit and hope. And lucky it went over. So no, it was a pretty great way. It was a tough night, obviously, for us, but all the whole state. A great way to go out winning, but obviously that was the last game we played for a couple of years, so it was pretty hard. And one we probably sort of drank for the next 4 days to enjoy the moment as a group, because that you never go through with a team like that again. So it was a close group that we sort of stuck together with the next 4 days and sort of really enjoyed the moment. Because at that stage we didn't even think the force would exist in anything. So it was a tough situation, but one we really enjoyed, and lucky enough we paved the way. And if Andrew Forrest didn't jump on board, we wouldn't be celebrating now the success of both the force being back, but also the women's rugby wouldn't be around with the support of Nicola, his wife, and what we can do and create a pathway, and seeing so many kids pick up the ball over here and compete against soccer, AFL and the like in the age groups. And it's pretty exciting now when the girls run out in the field, they run past the men and go straight to the Super W team for autographs, and that's something pretty special.
Bloody oath. And it feels like you're building something pretty special there as a state. And I assume what you went through with the whole being punted and then going through global rapid rugby and then coming back into the fold, is that something that's helped galvanise and really just solidify what it means to be a WA rugby supporter?
Yeah, no, it's unreal. I think we've got a bunch of fans and members and supporters here that have stuck through us no matter what we've faced, and it's pretty exciting to see them come back in their droves and not only come and watch the Super program, but I think we had about 1,200 come and watch us first Adelaide at Super W level. So they're getting behind the whole organisation, and there's nothing better if we get on a bit of momentum in both male and female to fill out the stadium week in, week out. And like I said, first came over here seeing a young kid pick up the ball and then playing with him 10, 12 years later is pretty exciting, and that's what the girls are doing now with their stuff they're doing in the community. So, big things coming ahead for both the male and the female.
Bloody oath, mate. We can't wait to see it. It kicks off this weekend for Super W, Tars versus the Force. It's going to be an absolute belter, and I can't wait. Sera, Matt, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season and beyond.
Pleasure, anytime.
You.
Cheers, guys. Stay away from Chainsaw and Knuckles as well. They're bad news.
That's right. They just asked me we went to Swanbourne for them.
Classic Chainsaw. Good on you. All right, cheers, guys. Appreciate it. All the best. Sera Ravatudei and Matt Hodgson, everybody. Round of applause. Absolutely awesome.
Legends.
Mate, so good, man. You did spend a bit of time down there, didn't you, big fat ass?
Mate, you've got to get your heart rate up somehow, right? Doing hill sprints.
Yeah, not doing it on the don't do it on the practice pitch.
Sand, in the bushes, like a gentleman.
Oh, you're a real piece of work there, big fat ass. Well, mate, it was absolutely awesome to have, as we said, Matt Hodgson on the blower, but from one Hodgson to another big fat ass, you were able to get the scoop with another Hodgson, weren't you?
I was, actually. We've got...
doesn't look too great.
We actually have an exclusive here on the Battlers bench. We have newly appointed defence coach Brett, which I managed to learn his name.
I love
Brett.
how you had to read all of that off the
Hodgson
card.
on the show. Hi, Brett, and welcome. Big news, mate, and congratulations on the appointment.
Hi, guys. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm excited to be taking his appointment at the Kangaroos in my stride.
Nah, mate, it's the Wallabies, the National Rugby Union side.
Yeah, Kangaroos, Wallabies, Paddy Melons, Quackers, it's all the same to me. I'll get the job done.
I think this could be where where some of the possible criticism have come from with your appointment, mate, that your background is in rugby league and not, in fact, rugby union.
The haters? Where's Doss? Can you tell that weak punk that I'm coming for him and that no one, and I mean no one, at a state and national level is better at being tackled than me?
Wait, being tackled? Aren't you defensive coach for the Wallabies? As in defensive shape, tackling, technique and stuff?
Huh? Nah, mate. I think Eddie doesn't want any of his players getting injured holding a hit shield or wearing a tackle suit. He gets me to whack one on and the boys just let rip on me. I think he must have seen some of my greatest work in the 2002 Origin series where it's some great technique with Gordon Tallis.
Nah, mate. Matt. You've definitely been named as defensive coach for the Wallabies. Have we got that wrong? Is that not your role?
No. Could be. I'm not the best at reading emails. I skim read them. Is that true? What the fuck would I know about tackling shape and technique in rugby union? Bloody hell. I need to call Eddie. Sharon! Get Eddie Bones on the blower. Sorry, lads. I gotta go. Doss, go fuck yourself. Sharon!
Well, I guess that's it for Hodjo. Lads, how was that? Oh, Doss isn't here. Doss. Does that alleviate any of your worries, guys, concerns, questions?
Oh, here. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah. We'll be fine. If Hodjo, if everyone can just tackle him, we'll be fine.
That's it.
That was good gas. An absolute scoop.
Scoop. So that...
oh, God, the worst headache.
Funny thing was, I'd been calling him Matt Hodgson for about 2 months.
Man.
And no one picked it up. Brad Hodgson.
He's done. Is that it?
Well, that was the interview, guys.
Actually, all right. So next segment here, we've got we found a bit of a lookalike this week.
Brad Hodgson.
We got Greta Thunberg with a beard, and who does that look like?
J-Ball?
Yes, yes, it does. If we can pan up a bit, definitely looks like J-Ball a bit. But yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
There we go. It's like Zachy did that on purpose.
How dare you?
It's like, I don't think it, and then boom, there it is.
It does look like me.
I couldn't stop laughing. He's got more hair on his head. Her, sorry.
More angry. Yeah. That's it.
That's good. That's all I got. That's for me for the week.
Thanks, man. Battler's bench was a real ripper this week. You stitched me up.
We'll bring more.
It did look like me, though, didn't it?
It did. I was like,
man.
I couldn't stop laughing.
It kills me. Come on, Zach. Stitch me up.
That's good, man. Keep for the rest of the show.
Oh man, the back of my head hurts so bad. That was a good scoop there, getting Brett Hodgson on the blower.
Yeah.
I thought his name was Matt Hodgson too.
That's because Darce has been calling him Matt Hodgson for about a month and a half now.
I was like, I googled him and go, that's Brett Hodgson? Anyway. I knew
All right.
I knew who it was.
All right. We're going to get into our tipping very shortly, but before we do, we've got one more bold prediction that we want to be doing, and that is because QPR first round is coming up this weekend. So, huge round of footy. Let's kick things off, shall we? And Big Fat Darce, you want to look down the camera and give your first bold prediction.
What about you fucking stitching me up?
I know.
So bad, dude. We said before we went live, we're like, should we give our bold predictions for Super
Let's
W?
talk
We're
about
like,
it.
Yeah, rightio.
And then I saw the coach and the captain there on the screen, and
Just
I panicked
staring
and I
at
went,
you.
"You guys are going to win." And right, I panicked. Dal's like, "Stitch up." QPR bold predictions for season 2023. It hurts me to say it, but I somehow think, due to West's awesome season last year, that they won't make the top four.
Sacrilege.
I
Bite
think.
your tongue. Blasphemer.
Mate, it stinks.
Blasphemer.
I just think that the amount of blokes that they've lost off into Super Rugby might be an issue for
The
this
depth is not as they don't have much depth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Dal?
I guess that's fair.
My bold prediction for 2023 Queensland Premier Rugby is...
Don't say Brothers to win.
Brothers. Bond University to win the comp.
Way, I would shit my pants if they did. I would love that.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to win it, that means their scrum is going to delete people and they're going to play the best brand of footy you'll ever see.
They've just got a little good inclusion. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it yet.
You coming out of retirement, friends?
No.
Yeah, the GC.
Molly Sololangi is coming back up.
Malalangi.
Yeah, he's coming up.
Is he?
He's back. He's a Bond.
Molly Saw.
Oh, mate. And that's huge because nothing against
I'm not sure if I was supposed to say that,
there,
but yeah, he didn't invite me to breakfast the other day. I'm pretty upset.
Stuff him.
why
Stuff
you throw
him.
him.
Eggs Betty.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. She only had very got a call up. I didn't. Anyway.
There's that.
My bold prediction is Souths are going to make top 4.
I agree.
They've been building.
They got a young side, new coach, new energy.
Garrick Morgan's on board for those that don't know.
Yep. And I just think they're going to make top 4. They've done very well in their trials. I don't think they've lost a game, have they, in their trials?
They absolutely panned Sunnybank on the weekend, 50-something.
They've got good young players.
Yeah,
but they've been young for a while.
There for a while.
But they've also got good, like Harry McLaughlin-Phillips at 10. Taj Annan will come back post Super Rugby. And you'd think he wouldn't play a whole heap this year, but obviously with injuries, etc. at the moment he might. But he'll go back in as well.
Yeah.
Young Willem Johnson, obviously Brett Johnson's young son at 9. They've got a good...
He's come over from East, hasn't he?
Yeah, Johnny Bryant.
Is he good?
Yeah.
His
they've got
dad's
some
good.
good
He's in the
young
Aussie
players.
20 squad.
Yeah, they've got a lot of guys in that under 20s sort of system, don't they?
Mate, that 9, 10, 12 will be absolutely elite, especially that 10, 12 with Taj Annan and Harry McLaughlin-Phillips.
And Francis, the proppies.
Francis Sulis.
George
so
is
front
back.
row.
Yeah, is Mata Uffa.
Yeah, gorgeous George. You've got Francis Sulisiosi, Theo Fourie. Mate, they're going to be bloody red hot.
And even I watched
Ty
a fair bit of them
James.
last year, and I just thought there was a lot of games they could have won, and that last couple of minutes they just get blown out. But they were thereabouts. So anyway, that's my bold prediction.
Mate, and I would actually agree with you. I think we actually all posted up 3 bold predictions in our message thread earlier on this week, and the 3 you gave were all going to be my 3. One of them was that Sunnybank will come last. I think the Eagles have got a couple in them. They'll sort of galvanise a bit. But mine is that UQ will not make finals.
Yeah, or
100%.
top 4, I reckon.
hey, that's a bit harsh. Don't say something you'll regret. Just say don't make finals.
Don't make finals.
No.
Not 4. Not the 4.
Yeah, you're right. No. Hey,
Bond.
Yep.
Brothers. Jeeps. And
Stop. What did he just... What did he say?
He's already dead.
What did he say?
What
did he
One.
say?
He's doing night shift,
No,
guys.
what did he say?
I've lost spot.
What did he say?
He's doing night shift. Come on, guys.
I actually can't remember.
He's actually got to go to work in 15 minutes. Come on.
They won't play finals.
Yeah. And
Four teams make the finals.
And plus,
no, the grand final. Sorry. Breakfast.
He started rattling off the team?
Yeah.
What? You don't reckon?
You don't reckon?
saying, because there's this.
I thought we were doing the Shoot Shield quarterfinal type thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know.
14.
Yeah.
But,
my bad.
But flow on from that, Fred. So who do you reckon is going to be in the top 4 then?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And remember, 3 of them won't make finals.
Well, of course, Jeeps, Brothers, Bond,
And
and
Souths.
Souths.
Wow. I like
That-
that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And
I reckon East will be thereabouts too.
yeah.
Yep. Oh, man.
Yeah, big Jeeps on the weekend, apparently. I'm not sure if that's correct, though. I could have made that up.
Pack facts, mate. Pack facts. Yeah, we just got word they did, but pack facts. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Speak first, work it out later.
See, it
eh?
worked out in the end, boys. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
That was sick. No,
I was so
Freeds.
confused because I was dead set. I was dead set. Like, what are these guys win? Why are these guys laughing so hard?
Like, checking his heart rate. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Stroke.
Anyway,
That was good. That was really,
So tired.
That was sick. Yeah, we know. All right, let's give our tips. We'll just rifle through them because we do want to give our tips. We don't have lines or anything for Super W or QPR, but we'll give winner loser in that respect.
I just want Ryan to curate my tips.
No, you've already given your tips.
Oh, no. He can
Before
change.
we get
no,
into
no,
it-
he can change one of them. Go.
Okay, we'll let that slide. Before we get into it, so last week, the Starters came back with a vengeance and absolutely annihilated the
here.
Battlers.
You're having
4-2. So again,
so you got a bit of PTSD.
yeah.
You're
So
not feeling great.
again, but above 500 in regards to betting against the line. But yeah, I think the Canes were 15.5 point favourites. You both went with the Tars. You didn't clear that. The Chiefs, the Battlers backed the Chiefs with 23.5 points, but they only won by 19. So the Starters picked that one up. The Blues, you both picked up the Satyrs.
Yeah.
So you both got that. The Brumbies absolutely smashed Moana, and the Starters picked them, and you guys picked the Moana.
We just got it. Underdogs. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well
cool.
done. The Highlanders were giving 17.5 points against the Force, and you guys picked them. Starters went with the Force. Well done. And then the Reds were only 13.5 point favourites. The Battlers picked them. Picked the Drua, sorry.
Yeah, they're
and
close.
The Starters. So it was
That's
close.
the hottest game in the world, by the way. Sitting in the sun for a bit, I'm like, I've got to go.
Yeah.
I went to the whatever. But
A mate of mine on Monday's like, the game yesterday. I'm like, no, of course not. It's way too hot. Absolutely not. It looked scorching hot out there, eh? But that means that it's now 2-1 in favour of the Battlers going head-to-head. So pretty spicy stuff after 4 rounds. Now let's look forward to this weekend. We'll give our tips in. So starting with you, obviously just all through Dallin here. 17.5 point favourites, the Satyrs over the Brumbies at home. Brumbies, yeah, that's who the Battlers went for. The Tars are getting 15.5 points from the Chiefs at home. Chiefs are 15.5 point favourites.
No, I think the Tars will bounce back.
No, we got to go to the Chiefs.
Did we? We did.
Yes.
I knew that's what you would have gone.
The Highlanders are giving 8.5 points to the Drua at home.
Sorry, who's that?
Highlanders.
Oh, true. I mean, yeah, Highlanders. No, you go the Highlanders.
No, I'm going to go the Drua.
Well, you guys went the Highlanders.
Is that what you wanted?
No, I won't draw.
Well, too bad. You wrote
too
it down
bad.
here.
Unlucky.
Moana Pacifica are getting 18.5 points at home from the Canes.
Yeah, I'm going to go Moana.
Oi, good stuff. That's also different. The Rebels are getting 5.5 points from the Reds at home.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I think the Rebels are going to win this.
That'll be a spicy game.
I think the Rebels are going to win this.
What did they go?
No, I'm not telling you.
I'll do the opposite.
Oh, okay. They went the Reds.
Well, I'll go the Rebels.
All right, cool. You should have prefaced that. The Blues.
Not telling you.
Yeah, the Blues are giving 21.5 to the Force at home.
The Force.
Nah, the Blues.
Yeah, that's what the Battlers went as well. Alrighty, so we've got our picks in for this upcoming weekend. Now let's just look forward to Super W. We've got the Tars versus the Force. Like it's going to be big, but you're going the Force.
Force, yeah.
Oi.
Tars will win that.
Yeah, you'd say so. Drua versus the Brumbies.
Drew will
Drew
smoke them.
Yep, and then the Rebels versus the Reds. at home.
Rebels.
Hey, love it. Absolutely love it. I love that so much. All right, looking forward to QPR this
Imagine if
weekend.
they did beat them.
Force, man.
Yeah.
Very
Happens.
easily
This could be the scout. This could be the
This
scout.
could be the early scout.
the week before the recruits come.
Oh, yes, that's good gas. All right, looking forward to QPR then. Doggies at home to Bond.
Ooh, Bond.
Bond.
Oh. Do you agree with that, Dars?
I'll let him have this one.
Okay, cool. UQ playing
Yeah, you made the other
host
one, so I've got
to
this one.
Jeeps up at North Lakes, up at the Lakes College, my neck of the woods.
Jeeps.
Yeah, I'm going Jeeps too. Then we've got...
Speaking of imports, how many came back from Fiji?
I haven't heard yet.
Okay.
But hopefully a few. Just a whole back line.
Fee Jeeps, mate.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're called Fee Jeeps. Sunnybank playing host to East.
Sunnybank. No, just show. East.
Oh, I was about to give it. And then South playing host to North. Battle of the Birds.
Oh, that'll be a cracker.
That'll be a cracker.
That'll be
Where
a
is
real
that?
cracker.
At North?
At Chipsy Wood.
South.
South.
Oh, actually, we'll go North.
Yes, love that.
We'll go North.
Battlers back in the Battlers.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them, mate. You got to love
Jordan
it, mate.
Luke, he's been
in good nick.
He's in good. Oh, he's gorgeous, isn't he?
He's a
He's
top
been getting at me for ragging on wingers lately, but Yeah,
late.
he reckons they've been going all right.
Building towards
I think
something.
So, hopefully. I would love to see them go better this year.
Would
to be
absolutely love it, mate.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see. I'd love to see North start.
honest. And I hope he gets through the whole year. Inshallah.
Interesting.
Yeah, God willing.
Inshallah.
On your friends.
We'll get there.
On your friends. Alrighty, now looking forward. We've just looked forward to all our tips for this weekend, but now let's look back at our rugby from the weekend just gone. Plenty of people to go through, but I mean, starting with you, Dow. You wanted to go Dallas McLeod from Canterbury.
He was unbelievable. Obviously, this was the game of the round. What a game of football this was, but he was just outstanding in absolutely everything. Just the amount of defenders he beated, from 12 and the space he found all game was outstanding.
This was ridiculous.
It was unbelievable. Everything he did just kind of turned to gold this day, and he just had a day out. And what a fantastic game of rugby it was.
Bit of a Ryan Menzies looking.
Yeah, he does look like
12,
Ryan.
Yeah, sort of like
Big,
tall
tall
and
and-
hunched over, can actually throw his weight around a bit, but like that.
He's massive.
He's huge for a 12,
massive.
but you'd think it's sounds a bit like I'm taking the piss to say he could be the 12 they've been looking for, considering this is the Crusaders, but he is the sort of 12 that could really flourish in a Satyrs backline when he's got the key attacking weapons outside him, but someone like Richie Mwanga, whose running game could unlock someone like him, and you saw it in this game.
He's big and hard to handle.
Yes, he could
100%.
be that foil for Richie Mwanga at the Satyrs just to go
Having those
to the next
threats
level.
out wide.
Which seems,
He's
as
a
I
very
said, it
direct
sounds like
rider,
bullshit when I'm saying this is about the Satyrs, but
They need another threat, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got enough threats. Give us one.
You're fine.
He's almost a bit awkward as well. He's this big body, kind of
Like a
stumbles through, but
He is like a Fonz.
Jittery,
Faster.
Yeah. What'd you say, Square Wheels?
Yeah, square with
But that's it.
like
He's
the Bailey Kunzel type, in a
Yeah.
big body, and just kind of takes a lot of the pressure off. Someone like Richie.
bloody oath, man. Mate, it's... God damn.
I love a good
that
12.
Crusaders factory just churns them out. And that's something we glossed over. Razor Robinson being confirmed as the All Blacks coach.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's why I was like, who gives... when they're like, press conference at 4 p.m. New Zealand.
What about Ian Foster?
And
I'm
there's
sitting
a
right
photo.
here, guys.
Yeah, there's a photo of Jamie
still here,
Joseph.
guys.
I'm like,
How-
stay in Japan, Jamie. Like, don't go packing up
What-
too soon, bruv.
What do
Ian
you
Foster's just sitting there just like, I'm still the
Well,
coach, guys.
he's already said that
What do you-
he's not applying again for
Well, I know
next.
that, but what happens from now to the World Cup?
No, no.
Obviously, Razor Robinson
still-
will say something. We'll have some say.
What I was going to ask, why
Announce it now.
do you think they didn't pull the pin early enough, or like Eddie Jones? Could you imagine if Eddie Jones was announced as Wallaby coach just after the World Cup, and we'd be like, why do it then?
I
You know what
reckon
mean?
they've done it to placate the New Zealand
If they do
rugby
lose.
community because
Yes.
yeah,
they
like
do
if
lose.
they're
Well,
going,
we'll get
if
rid of the
they're-
coach anyway.
Yeah, if they're going
Yeah.
shit, it
Killing
doesn't matter
Foster.
anyway. If they're
He's
killing
gone
it,
anyway.
the admin can back off and be like, "Oh, cool, we're winning." And then if they lose, they're like, "Razors in," and it takes.
We knew it. We were
This
changing
is
the coach
all,
anyway.
in my opinion, an
Yeah, yeah.
administrative thing, so that
Okay.
like all these people stop ragging
I
on
think
the
it's
administration.
so shit on Ian Foster's behalf. Like before
For
the World
Ian
Cup,
Foster, yeah.
yeah, for Ian Foster. Sorry, I reckon
Well,
it's
he's been
tough.
getting the rough end of the stick the entire time.
Like how they lost 4
He
games.
just-
They're
he
like,
just
get
go-
rid of him.
He should just
Oh,
go
and then
hands
the
on
back,
heads.
But then
Hands
the
on
back
heads,
end of
collect
last
his paycheck.
season, they were unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everyone's like, "Oh, we're just back to the status quo, so who cares?" It's like, well, he's done pretty well considering you guys wanted to like dismember him,
Literally.
like take him out to
He
like.
should just go hands on heads, get on the piss, and just whatever.
Let
goes.
the boys
Just
play.
Play a bit of touch for warm up. See
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, so I'm
You
not
know
the
what
job
to do,
anyway.
boys.
Who gives a shit?
So this game, guys, we're going to swap the backs of the forwards and forwards of the backs.
Odds and evens. Yeah.
So
that
good.
would actually be sick. That would actually be sick.
Yeah.
All right, Doss isn't here, but his rugby from the weekend just gone was our man, the Ginger Ninja, Brad Wilkin, mate. He is just. He's got the captain's armband in lieu of Rob Leota down in Melbourne, but mate, he is just developing into an absolutely elite back rower now.
Yeah, he certainly is. Obviously, a lot of trouble over the last couple of years with injuries, etc. He's got some good games under his belt last year. Moved up to Australia A, played some rugby there as well, and
Killed it too.
yeah, now he's just playing some really quality rugby. And this is what we've seen of him, as a younger player. He's now a lot more established, and And I think he's thriving with that leadership role as well, which
Yeah.
some people just do, and he's gone to another level, and it's excellent to see. Obviously, it counts because they're playing some pretty good rugby and playing at a high level, but he's a huge part of that.
He is, mate, and it's just this instilled toughness that he's got. Like, looks like he shouldn't be able to take the beating that he does, but each week shows up, cops are shellacking, and more often than not comes out on top. Like,
It's so good seeing him uninjured.
Yeah.
It's nothing better when you see someone who's had a rough run of injuries come back and they start playing well, and then obviously...
and also a testament to them down there that they've really persisted with Brad Wilkin. When you've got guys like Richard Hardwick, you had Michael Wells, Rob Leota, like you've got these guys who are these bigger-than-life type footy players, and you've got this sort of softly spoken, hard-working workhorse in Brad Wilkin, and they've just seen something in him and just backed him to the hilt. And now it's starting to bear fruit for him. So, mate, he's red hot, and I love him to death. For you, Friends, it's the sledgehammer, Oroni Sau.
Yep. I just thought every time he got the ball on the weekend...
Looks deadly, doesn't he?
Just... He looks like he's lacked a bit of game time, but, every time he got the ball, he was just whacking and beating that first defender, or first 2 or 3 defenders, and he's super strong. I think one of the first runs, he just ran straight at someone. Just I was like, yes, so good.
Oh, mate, and add him to the list of Fiji and Trua players that are just killing it, mate.
If they just chilled out on the weekend and they're doing some like high risk,
but that's how they play.
I know. If it paid off, it was awesome. But
but it's also
they're still in it.
It's the idea of playing prevent defense or like putting the cue in the rack. It's like what got the Reds to the Super Rugby title in 2011 was Quaid doing backhand flick passes to Peter Hines on the wing with no one in front of you know what I mean. The shit like that is what got him there.
One arm, right?
Yes, but it's things like that you don't want to do. You like what got you there. What is the Fijian style of play? It's this loose shit.
They literally just score from anywhere. But I reckon it was a testament to the Reds too. Like, I reckon McKeon's made a massive difference there this year. Like, considering cattle-wise, from what we've had to now, and I think they're punching above their weight, in my opinion.
I think Hino can be the key to unlock this side to go to the next level, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's just got to back himself as a coach. I think if he can do what he's done at a Premier Grade level for so long and he just backs that in himself, I think they'll find some new ground.
That's sort of like uni intensity at the rucks, where they're always just very very hard at the ruck.
They do the 1%ers hard as hell. You know what I mean?
That's my opinion.
Bloody oath. And your opinion is very good in my opinion. Friends. Big Fat Darce, yours goes to Ethan Blackadder.
Ethan Blackadder, member of the Crusaders who will either make the top 4 or they will make the finals. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Mate, Blackadder, his rugby IQ, like just again in this game, is just going like increasing every year. There was a cover tackle he made where I think the Blues guy was going over the line and trying to hold him up, and Blackadder dove in. And you see his arm just perfectly come under.
Yeah.
And then the last 10, 15 minutes, just their ability to know, like what the scoreboard is and what penalties to give away, not give away.
Yeah.
He's everywhere, and the amount of strapping tape. He reminds you of Richie McCaw. He's starting to get that haggard frame on him, and he's always sweating,
held together by like strapping tape and bubble gum.
And he's just everywhere.
He's absolutely awesome, and as you were saying, friends, like check that out. Like he's getting back there and holds himself up, but it's like the rugby IQ is huge. But you look at him and you think just tireless, hard-running back rower, but you saw as well, he runs these transition lines and he's often the support player off a 10 or a 12 or a centre that makes a break, or he's, if not the support player, he's there to clean out. Like, he has this rugby IQ for a young fella that is just through the roof, man. He's absolutely awesome.
I just love a big Cantabrian grafter.
Yeah, just this big,
back
honky,
rower,
like,
and they just
Cro-Magnon
don't stop.
skull.
They
like,
just don't stop.
This dude's built
so
like
tough.
a big shit house.
It's the best.
It's so sick, man.
What about Buddy Kini Naholo? Buddy, they're just respawning brothers of,
Brothers of brothers, yeah.
Bloody hell. Oh, we've lost someone to go to Japan, and all of a sudden another one pops up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a factory line there, man. My one goes to Thomas Umunga Jensen for the Highlanders. Twin brother of Peter from the Canes. But, mate, on the weekend, man, like 15 carries, but they were all just huge because he is a massive body. Like, look at him there in the bottom of the screen. For a 12, just a big body, and he just absolutely throws everything in it. And there's nothing better than a 12 who is well built and uses it really well now.
Massive.
Like, he's absolutely huge, and he's not afraid, doesn't shirk contact, and is just straight off the bat, boom, here you go. Like,
Loose.
do you know what I mean? Like, he's absolutely awesome. And, mate, we were just talking about Dallas McLeod. He's another big, awkward 12 that is absolutely thriving in Super Rugby, mate. He's awesome.
And he moves so well. He's got a good skill set, and even if he is that big body, just gets over the advantage line almost every time he touches the ball. But he's agile and very nimble when it comes to the contact, which is, I think, just opens up so many different factors for them.
And he just toils away down there in the Highlanders, mate. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like, he's the sort of guy you could pick in an All Black jersey and just know will, like, against, say, like, the Irish who have this really quick line speed, or, you know what I mean? Like, would just be like, we need a 12 who's going to bend the line and get his ass smashed left, right, and centre. I'll do it. Here we go.
The next phase couple in behind him. Yeah.
What's it like having a good centre outside you, Del?
Well, it makes all the difference, especially if you've got one who communicates really well.
Yeah.
That's probably the best. If you've got someone who communicates and organises stuff outside you, it's just like nothing else. But the other avenue is probably similar to that, is it gets you out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's why I reckon.
The ball's on the ground.
You go, and I'll figure it out. Good luck. Good luck to you, buddy. Ooh, tough stuff.
That's why I think Samu and Quaid worked well
so
well together, because he just, here you go, bang,
sort it out.
over the advantage
And then
line.
you'll have the planning the next
phase,
bit
yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Who would be the best centre you've played with, you reckon?
Ooh, it's good. Probably Juan Pablo Cecinho. He played at Rotherham with me when he was over there. He went on to play for Argentina and that, but he was just, communication-wise, he was outstanding like no one I've ever played with.
In English?
Yeah, in English.
Sweet.
See.
In Spanish.
In Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish.
As a result. Alrighty. Well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Rugby Show. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Dallin, Big Fat Das, the Krill Switch, and Zachy Boy in the ones and twos, as per usual. We couldn't do it without you. But on behalf of everybody here at the PAC Rugby Show, the Pig Athletic Club, I said behalf. I did. Yes, thank you very much. And everyone at DoubleTake Sports, we just want to say, stay safe, enjoy the weekend's footy, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.
Love you all.
Bye-bye.